Hi, everyone. I want to welcome you to English 300 for summer 2019. My name is Dr. Wei. I will be your professor for the summer session. I'm an assistant professor of English here at Washburn. My interests are in Shakespeare, digital media, and college writing. This video is designed to kind of give you a brief overview of some of the major courses on the syllabus. Part of your assignment for the first day is to read the syllabus in more detail and take the syllabus quiz. Which is something you need to take until you get 100% on it, but you can take it as many times as you need to. There's no penalty for taking it over again, but you need to just make sure you're kind of familiar with all the policies in there. So just to give you a heads up, this is a 5-week summer course, which means we're going to move really fast, way faster than we would during the semester. So you're going to be realistically working on a paper about every week and a half throughout the course. So it's because it's 5 weeks, we're going to move pretty quickly. So throughout the class, if you have questions or issues, please let me know. I am going to be here available. This is the only course I'm teaching this summer, so I'm going to obviously be around and accessible. So you can always email me, and during the week, I will get back to you within 24 hours. On the weekend, it might be a little bit longer, it just kind of depends. But even then, I'll try to get back to you pretty regularly. So I'm not going to hold office hours this semester officially at a given day and time because I know everybody's online and usually kind of scattered to the wind. So that doesn't mean I'm not available to meet. So if you are interested in setting up a time to meet, I'm glad to do a video chat with you. Just get in touch with me, send me an email, let me know. So, and hands down, email is the best way to get a hold of me. So just a heads up there on that as well. So really my kind of policy is if anything comes up along the way or you need any help, just reach out, and I'm glad to help out however I can. So real quickly, I want to kind of get into some of the basics. My apologies for bending over here in the video. I forgot to pull the book out. So there's one textbook you need for the class, and that is Everything's an Argument, 7th edition. You can find it hopefully pretty cheap on Amazon. I think the bookstore may have some copies, but I don't honestly trust them at this point to have much. But you need to get a hold of the book as soon as you can. You can rent a digital copy from Amazon or other places. So it's fairly affordable. That's one of the reasons I choose this book. So please get a hold of it as soon as you can, because you will basically kind of starting on Wednesday be working out of the book. And you'll need that to kind of move forward in the class. So in addition to the textbook, you obviously need access to D2L regularly. During the week, you'll have stuff due almost every day, Monday through Friday. There's a couple work days built in there, but otherwise you're going to be kind of moving through stuff pretty quickly. So you need to make sure you have regular internet access. You also need to have a copy of Microsoft Word 2013, which you have available to you free through Washburn. So that's because I asked that you submit papers in Microsoft Word format. So if you don't know how to get a copy of that, let me know, and I can give you the instructions for downloading Microsoft Word through Washburn for free. And so you'll have that to use. So beyond that, a kind of rough sketch of the course. So like I said, you're going to be moving through your major writing projects at a pace of about a week to a week and a half per paper. So obviously it's going to move pretty quickly. And so kind of the breakdown for the course, you can see this on the syllabus, but you have 3 major writing projects. The first one is the rhetorical analysis. The second is the community-based argument. And the final one is the scholarly argument. And then in addition to each of those, you also have what you will submit altogether is kind of your final portfolio at the end of the semester, which will include clean copies of all 3 writing projects, a revised version of at least one of them, and a reflective cover letter as part of that. So we'll get into that in more detail later in the class. But one heads up that you do need to submit all 3 major writing projects and the final portfolio to pass the course, regardless of how well you do on any of the other assignments. So so if you do really well on your first 2 papers and decide you're just going to skip the 3rd paper, it won't matter. You won't pass the course. So please make sure you're submitting all your work, you're doing it on time, getting it in. Or if you're having trouble meeting deadlines, let me know. So you can see the full kind of point breakdown on the syllabus. There's also on D2L a kind of tracking your progress guide that has each individual assignment and its point breakdown available too. So there's a total of 600 points, and each assignment is kind of broken up. So there are your discussion and work days is one category, learning activities, which are activities that kind of inform the assignment for each unit, then the writing projects themselves, the final portfolio, and there's a couple of small reflective assignments at the beginning of the semester as well. So in terms of kind of the grade breakdown, you'll see as well on pages, I think it's page 3 and 4, or 2 and 3 of the syllabus, you'll see the grade breakdown and kind of the grading scale. So like most Washburn courses, this is on a 10-point scale. 90 to 100 is an A, and so on and so forth. And you can see the equivalent point breakdown. Just a note that I do, at the end of the semester, if your grade is at a 0.5 or above, and on the line, I will round it up. So if it's at 89.51, that would round up to a 90. If it's an 89.49 or below, that's going to stay at an 89. So just kind of a heads up there. With that, I don't really offer extra credit throughout the course, but you have the opportunity to revise each of your papers for the final portfolio. And not only do you have to do that for one paper for the final portfolio, but it gives you the option to actually boost up your original grade on the paper as well. So there's an added benefit to spending time doing quality revisions. That better grade is not guaranteed. It is based on the quality of the revision. So if you kind of change a couple of grammatical errors and nothing else in the paper, it's not really going to change your grade. But if you take the feedback, really spend some time working on it and improving it, that can definitely be beneficial to your grade down the road. So there's also a course calendar. On the syllabus, there's a separate course calendar as well, kind of broken down by week and day up on D2L. So there's lots of resources for you to find and access for this different information in the course. So you can kind of look at that a little bit more and then let me know if you have any questions. So because this is an online class and it's 5 weeks and it moves pretty quickly, you do need to be online doing things pretty much every day during the week. Like I said, I tried to build in a couple of work days, for at least one work day for each paper, sometimes 2 depending on the scope of the paper. So for example, in your first unit this week, you will have 3 or 4 days where you're kind of getting used to the course, introducing your topic, doing some initial kind of research and prep. And then the following Monday will be a work day for the rhetorical analysis. And then Tuesday, the paper's due. So I tried to build that in as best as I can. But you do need to be turning in your work at each point throughout each day throughout the semester. So if you don't, you stand to kind of be hurt by the attendance policy. So I basically gauge your attendance by being online and doing that assignment by the deadline. If it's not done, that counts as an absence. If you hit 3 absences in the course, you're going to fail the class. So this kind of gives you a sense of how quickly we're moving, how important it is that you're doing your work every day. So if you have issues that come up, there's obviously only so much time we can work with in a summer class. But if something comes up, please get in touch with me ASAP. We can try and work around things as best we can, but I need to know right away. I can't know after the fact. So should you anticipate, family emergency, something's come up and you aren't able to get your work done for a couple of days, let me know right away. And we'll try and work on it as best we can. Otherwise, I expect you to be online at least once a day doing the work and submitting your assignments throughout the course. With that, so there are some assignments. So the learning activities, smaller assignments, progress checks, those are usually due either the day they're due or the Dropbox stays open for 24 hours and you can kind of submit it in that window. And it might be penalized for being a bit late, but you will still get credit for it. After the point that any Dropbox closes, you can no longer submit the assignment, and that counts as a 0 and would also count as an absence for that day. So some Dropboxes stay open. So your topic paragraphs, the drafts, when you have source lists or the annotated bibliography for papers 2 and 3, those will always stay open because you have to submit each part of the assignment and get feedback on it before you are allowed, before the Dropbox basically opens and you can submit the next part. So if you anticipate something coming up, like I said, please get in touch with me ASAP, especially if it's about submitting a deadline or missing a deadline for submitting a paper. So if you're worried about getting something in on time, let me know, and we'll try to do what we can. Like I said, I try to be somewhat flexible, but there is only so much time in this class, given that it's 5 weeks. So please be proactive if you anticipate issues with meeting deadlines right away, and let me know. So for beyond that, a couple of key things. Don't plagiarize. Don't pass off the work of others as your own. If you have questions about citing sources and you're not sure about how to do that, let me know. I'm glad to help out with that a little bit more. But the first time we'll usually kind of talk about what went wrong, and you will probably fail the assignment. The second time, you stand to fail the course. So please don't do that, basically. Other than that, like I mentioned, you have the 3 major writing projects. There's process work built in each one. So you're submitting topic paragraphs, source lists, and the final draft along the way, and then the final portfolio. So all of those need to be completed, like I said, to pass the class. So the only other thing I would say right now, in addition to what's on the syllabus, is that if you have any sort of learning accommodation that you need taken care of, you need to make sure that you get in touch with the Office of Disability Resources. I believe that's still their name. They might have changed it again. They kind of change it regularly, but you need to get in touch with them, and they will get in touch with me, and then we'll figure out what accommodations are necessary. But I can't do anything without information from them. So please make sure you're doing that if you need to. So otherwise, I look forward to working with you all throughout the class. Like I said, I am here to be a resource and available to you however I can. So please, let me know if you have questions or issues. There's also a discussion board. There's just kind of a general questions or issues, so you can post things there, and I'll try to check that at least once a day. But like I said, get in touch if you have any questions. Otherwise, I look forward to working with you all throughout the class, and I'm excited to see what you come up with. Thanks.